Were you aware that today a young NBA player got freed from federal prison? The young man was said to have either been moved to a halfway house or was en route home. I'll verify this shortly. He was later verified to be at home, and he spoke with Aiden Ross via FaceTime when he got there. Scholars even followed up with additional information about his release, with him reporting to the little boys. The young child and his family are at home manager. He is subject to a 30-day curfew and is required to stay at a certain location. Get ready for it, fans. The tour is set. He wasn't released for the reason you may expect, though. I'll explain. Before the small child was released, a convict recorded him packing his things. Free YoungBoy. A small child fan yelled into the court's Zoom call as he was getting ready to appear in court to beg for his release.
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB. Free YB.
Soon after witnessing the support from one of his supporters, the tiny child entered smiling and giggling. The young man did it, however, sign a document as he approached the courtroom attesting to his 8th grade education and his ability to understand English. However, did you realize that the young man can end up back in jail? According to the court filing, the young man was detained on March 10, 2021, and charged with both possessing an unregistered handgun and possessing a firearm by a convicted felon. Gun and neighbor became concerned and phoned the police when a young child was outside in a random area with several buddies, dancing on the hood of a car while loud music was playing, recording a music video. According to her, a number of males were dancing while brandishing guns, and the cops quickly recognized the little child and placed him under arrest.
Yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video. The cop comes right up to him, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him. And then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me? That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You can search me. I got nothing on me. Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time, YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were gonna go and start taking footage from music videos and said, you held a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're gonna face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good, long look on what's going on.
While the young child was being handcuffed, the cameraman attempted to take out the music video film because he knew the boy couldn't be seen with a pistol. However, the police confiscated the camera before the camera could be taken out. Thus, the feds were left with video footage showing the little boy brandishing a gun. When the youngster lost his appeal with the federal government and it was discovered that prosecutors might now use the footage of him carrying firearms to prosecute him, his lawyer's assertion that the police had illegally gotten the camera didn't hold up in court.
Update on NBA YoungBoy, he lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be is suppressed. Can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the 5th Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The 5th Circuit said, you know what, we have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to.
YoungBoy understood that he needed to sign a plea agreement because things weren't going his way. The judge reportedly wrote him an encouraging message just before he was convicted, stating that his addiction had robbed him of his potential and talent, and wished him well upon his release from prison.
I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank
Anything
you, Your
further?
Honor. That's all I have, if I
Okay.
could excuse.
You may.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
The little boy's lawyer told him a few weeks after I finished his case that he would be freed in 3 or 4 months due to the way we worked it out with credit on another case in Louisiana, even though it looked like he would serve 23 months in jail for his offenses. Due to overcrowding in prisons, the little kid was able to be released. Yet, as Rich, the child, had an interview with academics on March 3rd, and they agreed that the boy would be released shortly.
Drake YB Dirk right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is like YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his. There's a it's more music with him. Wait on it.
However, his employer broke down his other outstanding lawsuit, so the young man won't be free for long. Additional charges were out of state since he was wanted for failing to appear in court for an out-of-state case. A couple of years back, the FBI got involved and staked out his Louisiana mansion. While they were waiting for him, the young man suddenly climbed into his vehicle, unlocked the gate, and drove away. The FBI pursued him at high speed after he got onto the highway. The young man first obeyed and did so, and then the agent behind him stopped and exited his vehicle, dashed into traffic, floored down the freeway, and then escaped to the ordinary streets. The young man stepped out of his car and started a foot chase when he had a gap between him and the feds, which wasn't a smart move for him because he was wearing a jacket, slim trousers, fancy shoes, and some chains. The young man sprinted through a fan's property while the feds were chasing him, which is even worse. The fan saw him running and immediately told him to go faster.
You know, talk to us, tell us what happened, or
As soon as
not?
we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
Yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm probably if I haven't committed a crime or done that.
Okay. All right, give us a second, okay?
You know, voluntary statement.
Hey, he's not willing to give us a
So,
second.
you know, any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr.
No, okay.
Martinez, I don't want to give a statement.
He faced several serious charges, including resisting arrest and speed racing. He was treated harshly by the judge, but his millions of dollars allowed him to hire the best lawyers, and when he made a substantial financial commitment, he was given a bond.
YoungBoy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a YoungBoy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? The Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions.
In his gun case, the young guy remarkably managed to obtain a plea agreement of only 23 months, despite having a long criminal background. He is currently out, though, with the help of his lawyer. His freedom will not last long if he reverts to his pre-prison status. Thus, it is imperative that he exercise self-control. When rappers are free from prison, prosecutors despise it because they typically try to use them as an example. YoungBoy created good songs in his early career and got along with all other rappers, but recently, he has been embroiled in a lot of beef and battled. Evidence against himself by self-snitching because Chol once enraged other rappers by writing a song called Free YoungBoy in support of the young child. The small child did, however, release the song Bring the Hook, which denigrated King Von after his death a few months later. Choppa was greatly annoyed by this, and he and many others disapproved of the YoungBoy's behavior. The rap business reacted to this by dropping another full tape, and academics tweeted that YoungBoy is currently on demon time. There was no demon time, Lil Reese replied, adding that he was merely rhyming like the others. Since all rappers rap, Choppa had to agree with Reese and take sides against the little boy by declaring, "I stamped that," because he didn't like the way the child was making fun of someone who was unable to defend themselves. But this infuriated the child, who ridiculed Choppa in his song by saying things like, "I know rapping the lyrics. I bet your mom will be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements choosing sides about my beef with them boys. I saw it. You could say I was your favorite." Choppa then made an appearance on Academic's podcast to debate his side of the story.
Able to defend his name, bro, and it be a lot going on within his name about him. When to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude, and it was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, he came to a person as a man.
Choppa talked further about it on his interview with DJ Vlad.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was funny to me. I feel like, it's not serious when it hit the net. It's funny. It's just entertainment to me.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song.
Interview 936/106. YoungBoy's interaction with Jay Youngden reveals his fury and evil side, although both of them are from Louisiana. Jay praised YoungBoy in this interview and has always wanted to collaborate with him. With so many people looking up to him, YoungBoy ought to set a better example and exercise greater caution.
YoungBoy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of YoungBoy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like this is gonna be one of the hardest.
Delete this now. The young child commented in response to Jay's Instagram post, which included a sample of an unreleased song. "I'm not even sure how you got my song. That's not how I play around." "I wouldn't take offense," Jay said in defense. After a while, the two fell out. It was titled "Up With Me."
I'm a real and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't gonna get.
Interview 11:00/11:05. The young kid sought to catch Jay thieving on the streets when photos of Jay hanging out with the young guy's baby mama circulated, which made me giggle when your baby mother was on me. Jay even rapped about the young youngster in the lyrics of his song 38K.
We real headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, came to what they was.